Yo, Spectre here. Today I'm going to show you how to create a typography flyover effect in Blender with the fisheye lens. First things first, open up Blender. Then pan over, delete the cube and the light. Then do Shift A, go to text, zoom in. And for the text, I'm going to be using the phrases daily reminder, stick to the vision. But for the first text, I will be using daily only. So hit tab, then enter your text, hit tab again, then go over to your object data properties, then go to font, and then here in the folder icon, look for the font called Painterz, and I'll be leaving the link in the description for this font. Double click it, then go over to geometry, do an extrude, you can hold shift, make it a little thick like that, and then also we're gonna bevel it here on the depth, but only very slight. Then go over to your modifier tab, then add an array, do a count of 10, and then here on the factor X do 0, and then on the Y pan over to the left and hold shift. And then we're gonna want to have a stacked layer effect. Something like that. Then right click, then set origin to center of mass volume. Now go over to your object properties and then do a rotation of 90. And we're gonna want to lower this. Then if you go down, do Control C and Control V. And that does a copy and paste. Then if you go over here on the move select tool, you're gonna see this gizmo similar to up here, except this lets you move around. Then make sure you're selected on the new text, then hit tab, and you can rename this, and it's gonna be reminder. Then hit tab again. Now we're gonna make a duplicate of this, so do Control C and then Control V again. Then you can move the text up. Then make sure to select the text one more time. Then you can do a rotation, and you're gonna want to tilt it. I think 18 degrees is fine. Then you can bring it back a little bit. Then align it. Then hit tab. And then do stick. Then do Control C, Control V. And then do another one, Control C, Control V. And just align them. Then do Control C, Control V. Move it back. And then make sure to double click. That way you're selected on the new one. And then here on rotation X, do 0 degrees. Then press tab. And this is going to be 2. Make a duplicate, Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V again, and then another one, Control C, Control V. Then make another one, Control C, Control V, bring it back, double click it, then press tab, and then write then tab again, make a duplicate, and then one more time. And then select this one over here, Control C, Control V. Then double click this back one, then press tab, and then write vision. Then do Control C, Control V, and then one more time, Control C, Control V. And make sure everything is aligned accordingly. So it should be like this. Daily reminder, stick to the vision. And then now let's go over to material preview. And then you can use, honestly, whatever colors you want here. So if you go over to material properties and select daily, the first one, go to new, and then go to base color, you can increase this up and choose whatever color you want. And I'm gonna give it a reflective effect, so I'm gonna go to metallic and then bring it up. Then here on roughness, I can do a 0.15, and then just do this to all the materials. And I'm gonna try to use different types of colors for my scene. Then go back and you can start aligning your camera. So go over to your object properties, make sure everything is aligning. You can also press 0 while selected on the camera so you can see what's happening. And we're gonna want to start at the very bottom. And you can also give a tilt. Then go over to your render properties, and we're gonna use cycles for this. Do device GPU, that's if you have a graphics card. Then you can select denoise, and then here on max samples, do 300. And then here on your max samples, do 300 as well. And right here on noise threshold, do 0.5. Then if you go down on film, make sure you have transparent turned on. Then if you go over here to your output properties, you can adjust your resolution. I'm gonna leave it at 1080p. Then do frame rate. I'm gonna do 60. And then here, we're gonna do 800 on the frame range. And then go over to your folder. And then you can make a new folder. That way, whenever you're rendering, your files are safe. I'm gonna do typo. And then tut for tutorial. Then you can hit accept, make sure you're highlighted here. And then hit accept again. Then here on file format, select it, and then select FFmpeg video. Then go to encoding, make sure container is set to MPEG 4. And then here in your output quality, it is set to high quality. Now let's go over here to our object data properties from the camera. And then here on device, set this to panoramic. And then here on the lens, do 15. And then this is only going to work if you're using cycles here on the fisheye lens effect. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Then let's go over here to our viewport shading. And then this is where you're going to see the actual effect happening. Go back to your object properties and get closer. Now over here, let's go to shading and then select object, then world, then do shift A, then search, and then search for environment texture. Then select color to color, hit open. And here I am gonna leave you guys an HDRI that I found. It's called Snowscape with Clouds. Hit open. And I'm gonna make sure to leave it in a link in the description along with the font. Now let's go back to layout. And now we don't have the background of the HDRI, we're just using the light of it. That's why on the film section, I made you guys check that. Now here, let's do Control S and let's save our file. I'm gonna rename this to typo, similar to the export, then hit save Blender file. And the reason I made you guys save this is because since we are using cycles, it may be taxing on your computer and it might crash. It did happen to me while trying to record the first video. And then now we can continue aligning the camera. Now the effect works really well if you're really up close. So try to be as close as possible to the text. But also make sure that you're within the frame here. Make sure you're selected here on the actual camera, or you can go over here to your layers, select the camera, do Control and the letter B, and then highlight the frame. And that way you're only viewing what we're going to be rendering. And then bring up your timeline. You can zoom out with the mouse. Now we're gonna start animating the camera. So we're gonna get the first keyframe here and make sure that you're selecting every keyframe here on the first frame and all here on location and rotation X. Then if we move over to 100 frames, make sure you go past this. Then here on your rotation Z, we're gonna wanna turn the camera around and make sure to select the frames, the ones that you're moving. So if we go back, we can see. And then here, make sure that all the keyframes are selected. Then go over to 200. Then we're gonna move the location somewhere in the middle here. Then the Z. And make sure that the Z on the bottom is also moved. Then go to 300. And let's set the rotation X to 0. Enter the keyframe. Then let's set a keyframe on all the location X and Y. Then let's go over to 400. Then let's go over to the word 2. And then all the frames that you're moving, make sure to select them. Then let's go to 500. And then let's pan over to the. And then hit the keyframes. Then let's go to 600. And let's go to visions. Then select all the keyframes. Then let's go to 650. Let's pan over to the left. And then on 700 to the other one here on the right side. Then 750. Let's go back to the middle. Keyframe. And then on 800, let's zoom in and then hit the keyframe. So now if you play it back, make sure everything is good. Then make sure that all the keyframes are selected. Then right click. Let me move my camera over. And you can do interpolation mode, Bezier. So now if you go back, you can see it in one more time. And then if you do see something that you don't really like for example here, I kind of thought that it was a little bit too quick. So I can move the 100 frame here to the middle. That way it doesn't pan over too fast. And then I saw something here at the very end. I can just, whenever you're making a change to something that you didn't like, make sure to always animate the keyframe properly. So if it's orange, that means that you haven't saved the actual edit that you made. And then when you click it, you're gonna see it turn yellow. So now one more time on the playback. There you go. Then when you're ready, just make sure to do Control S. And then that way you save your file, and then you can do Control and F12 and you should start rendering. And there you have it, guys. That is how to create a typography with a flyover effect with the camera using a fisheye lens and Blender. And if this has helped you out in any way, shape, or form, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you haven't already, follow my social medias. It is @spectre.3d. Also, I do have a Discord server, and if you need any help, either me or someone in the Discord group can help you out if you have any questions. And as always, thanks for watching.